Right, video one of the Tesco trader, trading my way out of Tesco. So as you can probably imagine from the title of the video and the channel, I am currently working at Tesco. For those that don't know, Tesco is a supermarket in the UK, so I am essentially a shelf stacker on weekends. And I currently make enough money from that job part-time to pay for all my bills, or my share of the bills I should say, and food, and living with family, so it's not an ideal situation, but it's given me, I've put myself in that position to give myself the best opportunity to make this work for a living. So, where we are, where we want to be. So, as I've just covered, ideally I would like to leave Tesco. It's a bit tongue-in-cheek, it's not really, I don't mind working there weekends. I'll do it for as long as I need to do it in order to make trading work for a living. And yeah, I've been studying markets for many, many, many years. The current approach I've been studying for quite a few years now, and it's time to put all that knowledge, all that work, all that effort, all that research, all that studying to good work, to good use. Sorry, and really make a go of it to do this full time for a living. Rules. So I'm going to be trading mainly futures, and in fact only futures initially. Micros only. So MES, so it's micro of the S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow, crude, and gold. To begin with, my main focus will be on MES, and I've written MNQ there as well, but it'll be MES focused solely on that for the first few weeks at least. In an ideal world, in an ideal situation, what will happen is I'll start trading the MES, I'll graduate to the ES, and I'll never trade anything again, or not trade anything else that regularly. It will be, I will trade S&P 500 futures for a living, and not much else to worry about, because that's been my main focus, studying the S&P 500. But there are other markets, and so if there's a big opportunity in another market, why not take advantage of it? So then never rule anything out. But my main focus to begin with will be on the S&P 500, with a maximum of 2 contracts, and definitely for the first few weeks starting with 1. And the idea is so the starting account will be $5,000. It's not quite $5,000. It's just under. It's like 4,910 or something similar. And the initial risk will be $100 maximum per trade, which is 20 points on 1 contract of the MES. Because of volatility, it might have to go higher than that. So I might need a 30-point stop on some trades, in which case the maximum loss will be 3% or $150. Not a lot I can do about that because you can't trade partial contracts. Obviously, the smallest number you can trade is 1. That's just something you're going to have to get on with. Hopefully, it'll be exceptionally rare that I need a 30-point stop. And indeed, I have to have a very good reason for having a stop as big as 30 points on the S&P 500. But it's no longer the late noughties or early 2010s. When 3 points was a decent stop. The index is now. So if you think back to then, it was around 1100, I think, in 2010, 2011, 2012, as we came out with the global financial crisis. So a 3-point stop then, if it was 1,000. Now that it's 7,000. You times it by 7, it's 21 points. So, again, you shouldn't need a 21-point stop necessarily for every trade, but just trying to put that into, try and put it into context of what it was many a year ago and where we are now, or not many a year ago, quite a few years ago, into where we are now. Anyway, getting to the point. So, a maximum loss of around $100 initially, maybe 150 if it's very volatile, and a maximum daily loss of 5% of the account size, which is $250. That I think will be the hard stop. So if I'm going to have a 30-point stop, then that gets hit. Then there isn't much room then to take another trade. Maybe a small trade of 20 points, I guess. But but that's the hard stop, and the goal will be never to hit that, or very 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 rarely hit that. But it's there as a fail-safe. So if I completely lose discipline and add loads and loads and loads to a losing trade, I get automatically taken out with that maximum 250 initial loss. Maximum loss. just to focus on something as well. This is a personal account. This isn't a get funded account or anything. This is a personal account of my money in it. Yeah, a brokerage. The most important part, right at the bottom, is always thinking in R. So I'm always thinking in units of risk. So if my stop is as big as 30 points, then you better believe that my potential profit from that trade will be 30 plus. 30, 40, 50, 60. All the way up to 90 points, whatever it is. Because I'm always going to be thinking, so if I'm risking one R, in this case 30 points, I'll be making at least 1.5 R, preferably 2, 3 R, and managing the risk that way and targeting that way. But these two are really more money management rules, and the idea is to sort of leverage up as we go along and we make money. But first, you got to prove that. You got to prove consistency, and that's the most important thing to begin with, whilst managing risk. Goals. So having said all that, we do need some goals. So the starting balance is around $5,000. The only goal I have to begin with, and maybe forever, is to finish each week with more than you started. That's it. There's no point in trying to overcomplicate it. There's no point in trying to set, long-term, medium-term, or whatever goals. That's the goal will be to be consistently profitable week on week. You're going to have losing days. I think no matter what, you will have losing days. You just got to be comfortable with that. But what we're really looking for is to be green. Vast majority of weeks that we trade. If you're trading Monday to Friday, you want to be green the vast majority of weeks. As I've sort of said, monetary goals are difficult, but if you want to make money consistently and make this a living and trade for income, you need to set some sort of goals. The initial goal will be to double the account to $10,000, and then the quick goal, again tongue-in-cheek, but to leave Tesco $25,000, say. And the long term, to make this all worth it, you want to look at, you're going to be looking at $10,000 consistently, on average every 4 weeks. So that's $2,500 a week on average, in the long term. But we can get to that later. That's a long-term goal, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, whatever it ends up being. But that concludes the video. That's the first video, an intro. Excuse me. It's like an intro into what we're going to try and do here, what we're going to try and achieve. This is episode 1, an introduction, and hopefully thank you for joining me, and hopefully you'll continue to join me as the weeks and months pass and I update you on my progress. Thank you for taking the time to watch this first video.